So lately we've had some cold, damp, dark starts to the day, and once or twice I'm getting into this Nissan Micra K12 in the mornings, and it doesn't actually want to start very well, and the battery sounds like it's on its way out. So I'm thinking of changing out the battery. And there's one or two things you want to be thinking about if you want to change the battery in your car. Like, the first thing you want to be doing is having the radio code. It sounds like a simple thing, but if you don't have the radio code, your radio won't work. You know, when you change the battery, it doesn't remember the code. So you have to type it in fresh using these numbers. You have a 4-digit code, I think, and you use the 4 of these. So, for example, you select the first digit with this number 1, and then when you're happy with a digit, you press a button. It could be the band button, it could be the plus, it could be one of these buttons. It might even be the AF button. I don't remember what it is, but I know that without the key code, you're going to be stuck. So when in your owner manual, you may well have a copy of the key code, but it's worth looking for that before you change the battery, if you're able to. But if you're not able to, I think, you know, you're going to be stuck with the Nissan radio not working. I can't help you with that. All the rest of it is easily resettable. So when you're preparing to change your car battery on the Nissan Micra K12, aside from knowing your radio code, having that written down is a good thing. Might be in your owner's manual at the back of the book or something. If you haven't got that, changing the battery is gonna stop your radio working. Other things you're gonna need are a 10mm spanner and possibly a 13mm spanner. Now there's a reason I'm saying possibly. So here's a 10mm spanner. That's the sort you'll need. Preferably a ring spanner, but you could get away with just an open end. And this is to undo the terminals, the actual wires that go to the top of the battery. But the other thing you could use is these things called Torx, and the one we're going to need is the T40 up the top here, the biggest one. So before you start, you want to get your tools together. Okay, now what I've got is it's a T40 Torx. It goes in a mag slot. Now you can have dedicated Torx. Now my one has got a hole up here, and that's a good thing because I'm going to want another screwdriver, and this is only a cheap set. You don't want to do this with your best ones, especially if they're plastic handles. But it's way down. You can't get your fingers in there, and you want to be doing it like this. You want to put another one in that hole and turning it like that. And I know it works on mine because I took the battery out for a recharge following an earlier video on a dead key entry on the Nissan Micra. So finally, having got your tools together, which will be for us a Torx 40 and a 10mm spanner, we want to have the new battery. And I've got this new battery here. I ordered it in the post, and it came in this box with nice packaging and stuff. Now, this is a 45 amp hour battery. Probably help if I turned it the right way around. It's important for me to note that, like, this battery is effectively original spec. It's guaranteed for 4 years. 4 years. It's 45 amp hours, and importantly, it's got this visual display sensor, so when it's green it's good to go, and when it's not, it needs replacing. So we'll have a look at the battery I've got. Now, this is a Yuasa. I've used Yuasa on a couple of my motorbikes, and I know that they're good batteries. So there might possibly be one more tool. It's not really a tool that you might need. Let's just have a quick look at this. So the last thing you might need are, you want to have these on standby, some soda crystals, which is like a white powder, and we'll use that. If we have an acid spill, we can neutralise it. we can neutralise the acid spill with this very strong alkali. It's a water softener basically, but these soda crystals, these are what I would use. So I'm getting ready to change the battery, and so I've got the new battery. I've got a 40 Torx, I've got a 10mm spanner, I've got some soda crystals in case we have a spill. So let's get on with this. Let's do this. Let's change the battery out. The thing is, there's a bit of a spoiler. I already know that the battery I've got is a 20 amp hours and not a 45, and I know that the charging system has started to overload the battery that I've got, and it's leaked on the battery tray. So I know I'm going to need the soda crystals anyway, and I really ought to paint the battery tray, but it's like the beginning of winter. It's a nice day today, but I haven't really got the time to get the paint out, I don't think, so I'm just going to clean it up with the soda crystals and see how bad it is. But that's a bit of a spoiler, to be honest. You know, this is a video. Let's change the battery. You've got your radio code, you've got your T40 Torx, you've got your 10mm spanner, you've got some soda crystals, and you've got a new battery. So let's go and do this. The first thing you want to do is pull the bonnet up, you know. If you look at the gap made in the bonnet, you see this little plastic flap. You push that and it should open up like that. Then you want this thing, you want this red thing here, and that goes in your bonnet holder, your hood holder. Okay, and you'll find the battery right here, not necessarily red. Now, I've got nothing against this battery manufacturer, but you will see that it is 20 amp hours, and the one we're replacing it with is 45. Also, the one we're replacing it with has a little sight glass, a little visual display telling you whether it's a good battery or not, and that's what you should have with a stock Micra. So this battery is not the correct battery. It's, you know, no disrespect to the battery manufacturer, it's not the right battery for this car. Alright, so there's going to be several different ways you can go about this. You could undo the clamp last, or you could undo the negative terminal first. But we're going to go with the clamp. Now, down there is the bolt head, and you could use something like a 12 to 14mm spanner, but it's very hard to get any sort of rotational on it. You could use a socket. You could use, you know, a 14mm socket or something on an extension, but we've got a Torx that goes in the middle of the knot like that, or bolt. And I know mine comes undone because I just undid it. I undid it recently. I had to recharge the battery during the lockdown because I didn't drive the car much, and it being the wrong battery, it's not charging correctly. The genuine Nissan battery has a voracious charging appetite, and you're actually, you know, you're recommended to go to the Nissan dealer to have it recharged. So it's not like a normal tiny battery. It's quite a substantial beast. It's a 45 amp hour. So here's a clamp at the bottom, and we haven't moved the battery yet. We've just removed the clamp, and there it is. Okay, this isn't a how-to video, so you may want to refer to your genuine instruction manual. I'm not suggesting that you remove the negative earth cable first, though I am in this video for the sake of entertainment. Now, you want to make sure it doesn't touch. You're just lifting off that plastic flap, revealing the terminal. It's a 10mm spanner. So I'm not suggesting that your battery will be like this to remove, because this isn't a genuine battery. This isn't the right specification. Like I say, it's only 20 amp hours, this battery, and the Nissan charging is quite vigorous, and this battery is being overcharged and eventually destroyed. Also, it should have a sight glass telling you whether it's a good battery or not. So let's remove this terminal. I should be able to remove it now. There we go. And with this battery, it's got a lifting handle. I should be able to just lift it straight out of the car now, put it on the deck. Okay, there it is, safe in the road for now. Now let's have a look here at the battery tray. So you can see that I've had a spill where it's been overcharging. The battery started to leak, and so what I'm going to do is apply some of those soda crystals that I've got to that. I'll do that now. So what I've done is like half filled this old paint tin, aerosol paint lid with the soda crystals. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there just to make it into a paste. I'm going to stir that with an old toothbrush. Don't matter that it's not a particularly clean toothbrush, and I'll apply it with this toothbrush to the area that we saw just a moment ago. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to have to clean this up a bit more carefully. I don't want to drop this on the road in case someone's pet licks it up or something. So I'm going to go and get myself some newspaper to wipe this into a little tray or something. Alright, so through there I've got put some newspaper down there on the tarmac. I'm just going to... Oh, I've got some cobwebs there as well. Been caught in the cobwebs. Cobwebs taken all. Dear oh dear. Probably edit this video down, it's getting a bit boring to be honest. Right, so I'm just looking for any signs of corrosion anywhere now. We'll apply this alkali to it. I'll give it a final rinse when I've cleared most of the garbage off it. And it should be neutralised, but you still don't want it, do you? Got to be disposed of reasonably safely. Should be neutralised at the moment though. Destroyed a cobweb. So I've got some fresh soda, more watery this time. I'm going to carry on cleaning this. Got some newspaper down there on the ground. Really want to clean this up and give it a lick of paint. Oh dear. Very good. It's blown away in the wind. It's going to be a lot less harmful this time. giving the battery tray a bit of a clean. That's all really, but we're using soda crystal solution to neutralise any possible spilt battery acid from the past. Okay, so we've just about finished preparing the battery tray. Now you want to be wearing gloves when you do this because you're getting near some battery acid, which is not very nice stuff. And again, you want to be wearing your personal protective equipment like goggles for sure, because flicking this stuff towards your face with a toothbrush, you're asking for a bit of trouble there, possibly, if you don't take precautions. Now I'm not using gloves at the moment because I'm stupid and I'm in a hurry, but I would really benefit from wearing gloves here. There are easier ways to make sure your acid is neutralised, So all I'm doing is just cleaning off that spilt, sort of crystallised spilt battery where it had overheated, I guess, or overcharged, being the wrong type of battery for this car. Okay. Yeah, so wear gloves and goggles. For the sake of this demonstration, this is not how to do this. I said it wasn't a how-to video. This is what I had to do to change my battery. You might not have to do this at all. Right, it's all ready to be safely disposed of. So the battery tray is now, really, it'd be a good idea to clean it of these sycamore leaves and things with a vacuum cleaner, but I'm not in that situation where I'm allowed to do that here. So it could be cleaned up a bit more. So here's my new battery, showing green. Let's go over and have a look at where it's going to go. So in a nice clean bay, it goes under that lip. So let's have another look at that. So this protrusion here at the bottom goes under that lip we just looked at. So let's lift it up with a carrying handle. You should be wearing gloves and goggles for this, because we could have an accident. Alright. At the moment, the terminals, okay, that's as good as under that lip as we're going to get. So the important thing is that front clamp. At the moment, the terminals are covered. So I've got my positive ready for my positive. Negative ready for the negative. At the moment, there's plastic caps on those. So here's the clamp. It goes that way round with the long clamp facing the battery. And it's quite tricky to drop it down and get the bolt down the bolt hole that you can see, hopefully right in the center of the screen. Now I want to get this bolt down that hole. So, okay, unfortunately my battery decided to run out of my phone ran out of battery power. I didn't finish recording the reinstallation of the new battery. It was pretty straightforward. It's roughly the same as the removal, except in my case I was using a slightly different size battery, so I had to raid the toolbox for some more tools. So I'll just show you what they were. Okay, basically I needed a ratchet with an extension, and I'll show you what that was for. With a 13mm socket, 13mm socket, extension and a ratchet are the extra tools I needed to reinstall the battery. So reinstalling, at the bottom of this there's a rear mount, and I had to loosen the rear mount, and there are two 13mm bolts. One is directly below my finger, down under the battery, and the other one is just under behind these wires. So it was a bit fiddly. You have to push these wires out of the way. That enabled this battery to slide under that clip, and then we put the front mount on as usual. So this battery's got the green light indicator. It's a green glow indicator. So I just used a bit of Vaseline on these brand new contacts. It should prevent oxidization making a bad contact, but you know, you don't have to do that. Sorry I didn't get all the installation on video. You know, thanks for watching and good luck.